Maggie, thank you very much. First, thank you for giving me a couple of minutes to talk about this exciting new project where you portray a mean killing machine. So
Thank you.
let,
It's my favorite subject.
let me start by asking. I've always found very fascinating those movies that feature so many fighting choreographies.
Yes.
And you've worked on movies with this type of choreography before. So how complicated was the physical preparation for this movie and the actual shooting? Because it's never done in one take. You have to do it so many times all over again.
And sometimes over several days, you're doing it, and so really you're doing this choreography, and you have to keep your energy at a certain level, no matter what time of day it is, right? Because when it's cut together, right, it's all got to look seamless. Yeah, I mean, listen, the choreography, it was not easier or harder than anything I've done, but it was totally different style, new action team
Mhm.
I hadn't worked with before, but really true professionals. And I think that we also like pulled off a lot of bigger stunts that I hadn't done before in this movie. And so I had a lot of fun. I mean, it's always nice to do something you haven't done before, obviously, and up the level and give your audiences something that they haven't, seen before from you.
Excellent. Thank you for that. So, so in your childhood or youth, did you practice any kind of martial arts, or did you come to experience it right when you start working on films or in cinema?
Well, you nailed it. I started in cinema. When I started in this genre, I was an athlete in school. I was a runner and a
Oh,
swimmer. And
really?
so, I mean, I was not
Excellent.
flexible. I couldn't even touch my toes. So I had no flexibility, nothing. And when I started in it, I just thought, my God, this is such an impossible thing to do. Like all these things that they want me to do. But, over the years, obviously, I learned, I trained for each project. And, I think for me, I really, when I take something on, I'm very serious about it. I jump in and I give everything. And so I do, people do think that I'm a martial artist or I come from that background like Jackie Chan or any of these people. And I am absolutely not even remotely on their level. But what I do is I do my thing on film.
Great. Thank you for that. So being the protege, an action film, there's always the risk that a character like this can fall. Will fall into kind of a cartoonish, cartoonish character. However, the nuances, the seriousness, the mystery that you provide with your extraordinary performance avoids falling into that trap. So, and it makes it register like credible, genuine, and even with some humor. So, was it like that written in the script? Was it something that you created with the director, or did you just feel like that you can make it yours?
First of all, thank you for that. That's means a lot because that really is what we were trying to do. It was both. We had this great script, so we did have the basis for telling the story that Richard wanted to tell. That was character driven, fully arced and realized, and these were great characters to begin with. But yes, we were
Okay.
able to make it our own. Martin and I worked on a lot of rewrites. We certainly infused like who we were once we were cast in the character. The humor was important to us. We wanted to make sure that 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 it's not one note, that you're not just like watching an action film and you can't have a good time, you can't laugh, you can't be sad in moments, you can't want to cheer in you have to have all of those emotions, because the reality is the human experience is all of those emotions, right? And if you're
Yeah.
going to the cinema and you're watching something, no matter what genre it is, and you're not experiencing all of that, then you're not really being human, right? And so that's really what we wanted to do with these characters. And Martin really was the ringleader in that. He was so adamant that these people were funny and traumatized and sad and hopeful and all the things.
So talking about Martin, this is a director who knows about action and about this type of characters, and you had the chance to also work with legends like Michael Keaton and Sam Jackson. So I am one of the guys who thinks that you learn something new every day. So was it like this with these guys, with these colleagues, or let me put it this way, I'm pretty sure that it was the other way around. They probably learned a lot from
Oh,
you.
wow. Yeah, let's go with that. I'm going to go with that. They definitely learned so much from me. You know, I I did. And I'm like you. I mean, I learn from everyone. I mean, I don't care if you're 9 years old or you're 90 years
Exactly.
old. There's always something, right, that everyone offers, and that's why I love working with other actors. I love having this experience. I watch people. I see what they bring. It makes me
Mhm,
excited. You know, it makes me proud to see people succeed and have performances that matter. And I think for me, with these legends, obviously from my director to my co-stars,
mhm,
um, it's sometimes it takes so many years obviously to bring like a breath of experience to like what it is that you're watching. And I
mhm.
think with these men, and that's really what it was, right? It's like I get to see this many years of experience at work in the way that they did it. And that for me is always a new experience, and there's always something to learn from them. But I was very inspired by, even in doing it so long, that no, none of them were jaded, none of them were
Mhm.
better than it. They were all generous and collaborative and kind, and so we were able to have, you know, a good relationship off screen, so that we were able to build what we needed to build on screen.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Thank
Yeah.
you. You started your career working in Asian films. So, is there any difference between Asian cinema and Hollywood films, at least while working on this type of action sequences or fighting choreographies?
Sure. Essentially, it's the same process in terms of, right, you're
Okay.
executing the script, you're putting all the time and energy into it, but very different ways they go about achieving a final product, you know. So I think that I probably started in the toughest business that you can over there, because you don't always have, you know, full scripts. You don't have, you know, you have a lot of harsh conditions. There's no
Okay.
unions. There's very little
Oh,
protection. You're
really?
working very long hours. You know, there's a lot of those things. And so I'm really glad I started in that, because I think it made me tough. I mean, it made me able to endure. I mean, when I got to Hollywood, my first movie was Mission Impossible 3. And I remember thinking, my vacation, like, what is this? Like, I mean, I'm definitely working hard, I'm doing my thing, but also like it's just so luxurious. I mean, the whole experience was just like a whole nother level. And so you know, it's Hollywood for a reason, obviously, but I really value my first experiences in film and television, because they were tough, and they taught me a lot. And so I think that once I got to Hollywood, you know, I had a real solid work ethic that I brought with me.
Excellent. I think my time's up. Thank you so much for giving me a couple of minutes to talk about this wonderful, exciting project. So I'm hoping for a sequel.
Oh, that's very nice. I hope so too. Thank you.
well,
Thank you.
well, thank you very much. Have a great day, and
You
and
too.
stay safe. That's important.
Thank you.
Okay.
You
Thank you very
too.
much. Okay.